Hello, and welcome to the All Night Gamers podcast. And it's launch week, and holy crap, has it been a mess. Uh, we will get to this later in the show. I got my PS5. It's amazing. I hope anyone listening to this also got their hands on a brand new console because it's always exciting to get some new hardware. And really now is a great time to be into video games. And we got so much stuff for you today. Even more than just launch week stuff, because there's just so much other things going around. The holidays are coming up, all sorts of news and sales. So let's get right into it. Hi, hello. I hope you're doing just well, just fine. I'm here with the usual gang. Hello, fellas.
Hello.
And with me, we're gonna be going through some Game of the Year predictions as well. So, stay around for that. So, we got a lot of stuff to cover, so let's just get right into things. First, there's Walmart's Black Friday ad has been leaked, and holy crap, are there some good deals coming from Walmart. So, we talked about Best Buy already before, as like the only store that had come out with like an actual set deals thing on Black Friday. And they had a lot of really good stuff. But Walmart, this is
better.
Yeah, so they got a whole mess of Switch games, $30. Luigi's Mansion 3, Link's Awakening, Yoshi's Crafted World, Mario Tennis Aces, Mario Brothers Deluxe, Splatoon 2, Mario Maker 2, Fire Emblem 3 Houses, and there's probably some more that just aren't showing on this ad, but even if there aren't, those are amazing games, and if you don't own any of them, you should get some of them, because that's the best deal you're going to see for a while, and all of those games are absolutely fantastic. You will not be disappointed in any of them. Let's not start with Mario Tennis Aces though. If you don't have any of them, don't go there.
if you want to get the most bang for your buck, Fire Emblem 3 Houses, easy for solo. Splatoon 2 is going to be having the Mario-based Splatfest in January, so it is the perfect time to buy someone the game and give it to them for Christmas, and then they can play with everyone else in the newest Splatfest.
And by someone, you mean yourself, because you have no friends, because you're just like us. But for real, yeah, those are all amazing games. I cannot recommend Link's Awakening enough. It is terrifying in its context. The story is absolutely frightening, and it messed with me a lot playing it. It's so good. Luigi's Mansion 3, so good. Tons of great platformers. Mario Maker 2, multiplayer kind of sucks, but if you're into creating things...
It can be very creative. It's just
Well, the online multiplayer is bad, but like going and getting it just to see what people make on there is insane. The creativity is unmatched. Yoshi's Crafted World and Mario U Deluxe are both amazing platformers. Yoshi's Crafted World especially had the art style is fantastic. Mario Tennis Aces, I mean it's a tennis game. There's not really all that special, but it's high quality. It's fun while it's there.
And Nintendo does a bunch of contests for it. So, actually
good
and win.
And like Cameron said, Fire Emblem 3 Houses has so much single player content in it that you could put hundreds of hours into that game if you're really big into RPGs. And Splatoon 2 is just a great shooter multiplayer game, different from the normal shooter. It's a nice breath of fresh air. And like he said, we got the big Splatfest coming in January. So those are all just big. That's amazing. I haven't seen a Nintendo game sale like that in a long time.
I didn't own any of them. It'd be like the perfect.
Yeah, like this is why I hate loving Nintendo so much, because I buy everything when it comes out. So then like 3 years later, it's like, oh, I could have paid half as much for all this stuff. Yeah.
3 years later. If I waited 3 years and not put hundreds of hours into Splatoon 2, I too could have it for $30.
Man, it's like the people that waited forever and got GTA 5 for free.
I did that. I'm one of those people, bro.
Me too.
I resisted for 7 years. Got it for free.
It was worth the wait.
And then, so let's see, what other Switch stuff they got? They got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Bundle, which is essentially the same bundle they've always done, except now it's the new model Switch, and it comes with a 3-month period of Nintendo Switch Online. So, better than before.
And
but
if
basically
nothing
the
else,
same thing.
you get free cloud saves with your new Switch.
Yeah, for sure.
Sir.
And same price as before, $300. $30 for some third-party controllers, the Power A1s. It's no pro controller, but I have some buddies with them, and I've used them, and they're quality controllers. So if you're on a budget or whatever, that is such a good deal. Okay, so moving on from Switch exclusive stuff, sports games are all going to be over 50% off. $28 is what they have listed. So 2K21, FIFA 21, Madden 21, etc., including the Switch version, which is really not that special. But so yeah, now you should buy it if you want it instead of paying full price. That's big brain move. A bunch of $15 games.
Not buy it.
Yeah, or not buy it. Don't. You should not support that. Buy FIFA or buy last year's. It's the same thing. You'll get it for like $5. GTA 5 for 15. Sonic Mania for 15. Sonic Mania is an incredible Sonic masterpiece on Switch. So if you don't have that, definitely swing for it. Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle, also a pretty easy RPG tactics based kind of thing. If you're into that stuff, you check it out. The story is a little hard to get a hold of, but if you just buy into it, the gameplay is pretty fun.
For me a lot. I don't know. For some reason we all know I love RPGs. It's one of the hardest ones I've had getting into.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I think it was aimed for more casual people anyway. Like, Rabbids are a hard sell to people that care about media in any like large context.
Sure.
Dude, I'm still just glad that the figures they released weren't amiibo.
Yeah, for sure.
And they were quality looking figures. I just, didn't want to have to buy a bunch of rabbits. Sorry, Ubisoft.
So we got more. We're like halfway done. So they have PS5 and Xbox Series X on like one of the big pages for it. Doubt.
Why? They can't even sell them, but you
But
can see that they had them at one time.
Don't worry, guys. We totally have them.
Ooh, I just noticed this. PlayStation Plus 1 year, $15 off. I'm definitely going to be snatching that. They got Xbox controllers for $40, which is totally you should get one now if you're looking for one, because there's no reason to pay what they normally ask you for that. So $40 is a great deal for an Xbox controller.
Instead of 60, it will be 45.
I think that's the standard sale price. The thing is, you should not buy it at full price. Like that's why everyone thinks that the Switch controllers are so expensive. It's because PlayStation and Xbox are always on sale.
No, they're not. I look for DualShock 4s for months, and I never saw them on sale unless they were used. I didn't want used GameStop. Sorry, I'm getting off track. I'm going to start spiraling on that.
Cameron, they look on sale because you never look for them, but they're like on sale as much as Nintendo's are on sale.
Okay, then why does everyone act like they're so much cheaper? The price difference is not
because they can bitch
great.
about Nintendo if they say
because
that.
they do go on sale more. I'd say they go on sale more frequently than Nintendo controllers, but it's marginal.
Going on sale once is more frequently than Nintendo's. So yes, they go.
But then again, Nintendo this generation has had things on sale way more than any other generation that I've experienced.
Yeah, think of
except
one
maybe the
generation
Wii.
where Mario was on sale.
The Wii.
I don't believe you.
Yeah, but also Wii controllers weren't that expensive to get with in the first place. So $40 is way different than asking like $70 nearly. But back to the games. We got some $20 games. Spyro Reignited Trilogy on PS4. Crash Team Racing on Switch. Doom Eternal. Spider-Man Game of the Year Edition. Not the remastered version, but the PS4 version. Resident Evil 3.
DLC.
Yeah, Resident Evil 3. Sonic Team Racing and Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. Those are all $20. Gears 5 as well, and Death Stranding. Days Gone 2. So I will definitely be getting Spyro and Resident Evil 3 out of there for PlayStation. I would get Doom Eternal if I didn't already have it on PC, and I would get Death Stranding if it was good, but it's not. So, all right, $25 section now. RDR2, Star Wars Rogue or Star Wars Squadrons, Borderlands on Switch, the that collection they put out, Black Ops 3 for some reason, or no, it has to be Black Ops 4. The leak is like photos of it, so it's kind of hard to see. They're trying to sell Call of Duty World War II for $25. Good luck selling any of those. Not really. There's Need for Speed Heats in here. Not really as good of a selection for the $25 part, but
Does Walmart still do their bargain bins?
for games, no. Best Buy does, but it's never really good.
We need to include on like the YouTube version skip the game deals.
So then $30 section, Last of Us Part 2, Jedi Fallen Order, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Just Dance 2K21, Crash Bandicoot. I don't think that's the trilogy. That looks like it's about Crash Bandicoot. It's About Time. That's not launching till next year, right?
No, that launched.
That launched. Oh, I'm
I
just
think.
way out of the loop there.
Isn't it?
Well, apparently because it's already going to be $30 at this sale, if I can read that right. So yeah, you can look it up online and read it for yourself. They start the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, so the 25th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Online only for these. They will have more deals for like actual Black Friday, but there's nothing really special for game stuff in that section. Although there's stuff like TVs and sound systems and stuff for kids, if you're looking for anything like that. But for all this stuff, Wednesday the 25th, 7 p.m. Eastern, tons of good deals. I will most certainly be getting a ton of things out of here. I already mentioned Spyro and Resident Evil 3, Jedi Fallen Order for sure. I'm tied between getting Final Fantasy VII Remake and Last of Us Part 2 because I don't want to get both just yet, but I'm still thinking about it. As well as I'm probably going to skip Madden, honestly. It's just kind of a hard sell. And that's about it. One what?
One of those two games I feel like will go cheaper a lot faster than the other, based on their previous releases.
Yeah, true.
I think Last of Us 2 will go on sale a lot faster. One went cheap really fast.
Well, that's also because they released a remastered version like a year later.
That's true.
Dude,
I don't really remember a lot of people talking about Last of Us 2.
It was big for when it came out for a couple weeks. PewDiePie played through it, and there was a pretty good meme that came out of it. It's really awful if you know the story context in the game, but it's pretty hilarious otherwise. And I'm leaning towards Final Fantasy VII. Yeah.
To the point it has like a 5 on Metacritic.
I'm leaning towards Final Fantasy VII because I still need to play Last of Us Remastered before I think about getting Last of Us 2, and it's going to be hard for me to play through that game just because it's so sad. But anyway, especially Switch owners out there, but for real, you got to check out these deals. Between Walmart and Best Buy, there's so much good stuff. There's so much good stuff. My wallet is in pain. I'm going to be getting so many things. And I'm glad it's all online. I don't have to try to go fight people for it.
That's true.
Although games really aren't that hard to get. It's the systems that you have to fight for.
Yeah. But you do got to fight for some games based on stock.
The PS5. We'll get to that.
Okay, so moving on from Black Friday stuff. So it's 1 week after launch when this episode goes up. It's a couple days before that now, as we're recording. But the the first wave is kind of over, and
Ish.
now it's you either got one or it's going to be a minute. And wow, I didn't think that it's my fault for thinking it wasn't going to be that bad, but wow, was it that bad?
Oh, absolutely.
I did like the thing Walmart did, where they had like some go at like 3, 6, 3 or 12, 3, 6, and 9
The staggered
Eastern time.
releases,
Yeah,
that
I
was
liked.
pretty
That was a smart
smart.
move, even though it was still
Uh,
garbage. And then for everywhere else,
The,
it was just a nightmare. I
the
had some.
official PlayStation site was just a queue. Like it was a virtual queue, and people still didn't get them.
Well, if 1,000 bots get in the queue before you get in the queue, you
Yeah,
know.
that's true.
Um, but yeah, I have one of my friends that mentioned it from the Walmart thing. They tried every increment, didn't get one. Pro Jared tried. He was ranting about it on his
He's not the
Instagram.
only one. I saw
Um,
multiple people
yeah, like
talking.
I mean, hundreds of,
Uh,
probably
Jay
thousands of
Woods,
people really.
Space
yeah, they were like,
Hamster.
I can wait till last minute.
Well, they
I
probably
gotta-
couldn't get it when it came up earlier because Walmart had to mess it all up. Because
It is
PS5
weird.
like it'll go live tomorrow, and Walmart was like, screw that noise. It's available right now."
See, but Walmart allowed regular people if you didn't have it canceled on you, because that was before the bots were active.
Yeah, and also
Once-
screw
Once the pages were available, it's over. but-
Walmart a second time for deleting my order and having to go through Target. But anyway, so yeah, but other than that, man, does it feel good to have a PlayStation 5. It's been so long, and I cleaned out so many car wash vacuums for this moment, and it's here, and it's amazing. It really is. It's always exciting for new hardware, and we can't forget the biggest launch, the Nintendo Game & Watch recreation. Cameron, you got that as well, right?
Which one?
The Game & Watch.
Just
Yeah.
say yes.
I
Yeah.
got the Game & Watch. That was probably the easiest console to get all week, but it was also sold out. Or it's been
Yeah.
sold out for a
Yeah.
couple.
Yeah, I was glad I was awake when you noticed it.
So I went to bed early Thursday night. Woke up and was like, "Huh, I always miss something whenever I go to bed early." Checked my phone. I was like, "Oh, huh, the Game & Watch is available. Let me buy that."
Dude, I don't know, man. I'm gonna finally be able to whip out a clock in my class. I'll finally know the time.
Yeah, dude, finally after 40 years, I'll be able to play Game & Watch Ball.
Let's
Amazing.
go!
For $50. I can play Game & Watch Ball.
On the 3DS, but
I mean, I opened it and played it for 5 minutes while my PS5 was downloading things, and then I put it back in the box, and it's on my shelf now. And that's where it's gonna be.
I'm on desk right now. Oh, yo, it's got time. It's got Ball. It's got Super Mario Bros. And Lost Levels. That's crazy.
I think the biggest point for me was the screen. The screen actually looks really good.
Oh, definitely.
And
Dude, the
just the
box
attention to
is cool,
detail
man.
is pretty nice. And yeah, it's certainly a cute knickknack. The box that it came in and everything is super cute. Dig it for sure.
Mhm.
But back onto actual
So-
consoles.
Getting off topic.
Not really.
No,
It's a console. It's just,
Portable.
It's
it wasn't nearly as hard to obtain because Best Buy, the way Best Buy did it, is the way they should have done everything else.
yeah. As annoying as it was when I was going through it, that was probably the smartest implementation I've seen of like limiting
Yeah,
how fast they sell.
because as far as I'm aware, the bot, like there's a brief moment between the page saying out of stock and it going back live where the bots don't realize it yet because they haven't refreshed. So that's when you could slide in and get it. Problem is, that wasn't a thing for the Xbox or PS5.
Yeah, well, they probably didn't have time to implement it because again, Walmart was like, "Hey, right now," and everyone
Hey,
else just had to
guys.
scramble. They thought they had
Oh,
like
we're
16 hours
releasing.
to get everything ready and set up, and Walmart's like, "Oh, right now."
Dude, at least it's not like Amazon going, "Hey guys, this is the page," and then they get botted. There was, I don't remember what the item was, but there's an item that it was definitely going to be a hot ticket one, and they changed the page that it was available on, which honestly, with
Heresy.
Amazon, it's not a bad idea because they released the page for it so early that people have plenty of time. Like you could not know how to script to do the bots, and you could learn how to do it by the time that the page goes live.
Yeah. But we will get. I guess but we will get to more PS5 specific stuff later in the show with Collector's Corner. But other than that, it's super exciting. I'm so happy to see new hardware out and just finally like the mid-cycle refresh of last gen has now been realized with this current hardware,
Yeah,
and
sir.
it's just great. It's what the PS4 Pro and Xbox One X were always meant to be. Um,
Not that they're bad. It's just these are
Yeah.
better.
and I had a discussion with one of my friends last night about which one to get, and this is the same guy that plays Xbox. He has an Xbox. He doesn't have a PC, and he barely ever buys physical games. So I brought the PS5 over to my buddy's house last night, and he brought it up like, "What made you go for the disc version?" And I explained the whole like, "Well, physical games go cheaper, blah blah blah," and he was like leaning digital, and he also said he's leaning Xbox, and I told him like, it's definitely going to be more powerful. Um, And my argument for the PS5 was like, well, okay, it's objectively less powerful, like to some degree, not really a large degree, but by the numbers, it is. But like, there's really no reason to buy a Series X right now unless you just are itching for the tech, because like, there's no new exclusive games.
What are you talking about? You could buy one and break it like that guy did on day one.
Why would you, that is that a reason to buy a Series X?
No,
break
it
it?
was for him though, because he gets a lot of YouTube
bank,
views, makes a lot
yeah.
of money.
Well, he
So for
probably bought
him,
a second one. So
He did.
there was a reason.
He posted this checklist on Twitter.
um,
He had a reason. Everybody else, nah.
but yeah,
Everybody
I was
else.
like confused, and so I could see what he was arguing. He's like, he didn't have a PC, so and Xbox is probably the closest you're going to get to a PC without building a PC.
Fair.
And
A pretty okay PC.
yeah, I mean more than okay, really. At 4K,
Yeah.
that's my PC can't do that. My PC struggles at 1440.
Right? It's a pretty good price for what you're getting.
Yeah, and if you're like him and all you do is, play Warzone and Apex Legends, then sure.
Yeah, that's a pretty cheap bar to entry.
Yeah, but for someone like me, physical games are definitely the way to go, and exclusives are definitely the way to go. I have a PC, so there's no reason to get an Xbox. Like, so I just get a PlayStation because now I get, and also disc gives you PS4 backwards compatibility. So,
Which I don't need, but technically I didn't need the GameCube compatibility on the Wii, so.
well, I mean, it's not an argument
It's-
if I need it or not. Well, I do need it
It's-
because I missed out on the
you-
PS4. Like, it's different if you're buying a digital PS5 and you have a PS4 already.
Like, there's no reason for me to get one right now because they're going to be supporting the PS4 for a few years with those new games. They may be compromised a little bit,
They
but
most certainly will be compromised. but
But
they'll
there is,
play. I mean,
yeah, exactly. Like I'm not going to be so outrageously hindered that it's worth, $500 for me to buy one when I have a perfectly good PS4 Pro
yeah.
right now.
There is boost mode for some games on PS5, which is pretty cool. And you'd get like more native 4K than the kind of super sampled 4K that the PS4 Pro does.
Right.
But, those are kind of marginal arguments when you're talking about a $500 thing.
Yeah.
But yeah. And now that it's all said and done, I do not regret a thing. Have been so anxious about, like, man, I'm spending all this money on this thing, but now that I have it, like, it's worth every penny. And we'll get to this in Collector's Corner, but man, Sony has really done an amazing job. Both companies really have done amazing jobs with their tech this generation.
There was a lot of games this week, even if you didn't.
Dude, I remember sorry to get a bit off topic. I remember Grant just waiting for that price tag, saving money and everything.
Yeah.
Well, that's because there was the rumor for the longest time that it would run 700.
That would have been ooh.
It's true.
But we were right and be like, there's no way they're going to do that. They're not that stupid, right?
No, we're like, they're pretty stupid, but they can't do this again, right?
Yeah, they've got evidence of
They
themselves to know that's a bad idea.
To be fair, at the very end of the console generation, 10 years after it came out, the PlayStation 3 passed the Xbox 360 by 1.4 million.
Yep.
So Sony has beaten Microsoft in every generation.
Yeah. Well, that was Microsoft's game to lose that generation because they just started. They just dropped the ball. They had them so good. If they just kept doing what they were doing in the early years, it would have been fine. But they didn't.
Yeah.
Anyway, so moving on. Last thing before we get into Collector's Corner. So Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity releases this coming Friday. It'll be 2 days after this episode comes up. I am not getting it at launch because I'm so drained for money right now, and I hate it because I know it's going to be so good.
And also, everybody's going to post spoilers everywhere.
Well, I don't care that much about it because it's not a mainline Zelda game. Like it is, and it has some lore in it, but since it's not like an actual Zelda game, like the traditional thing, it doesn't upset me as much. But just for the gameplay, like I know it's going to be so good. Like a good beat 'em up, hack and slash kind of thing is just always gets me going, and I'm very upset that I won't get it at launch. But I will get it sometime in the future. That is for sure. It's not the game's fault that a new PlayStation just launched.
Breath of the Wild is my favorite trilogy.
And so definitely pick it up if you have the money because you don't even need to wait for reviews. You know it's going to be good. It's Hyrule Warriors. Hyrule Warriors is amazing.
You either like it or you don't. And if you like it, you'll like this one.
If you like hack and slash, it's probably the best one around right now. Okay. So, time for our long-winded Collector's Corner, and I'm going to go last because everyone knows what I'm going to be talking about.
Everything.
Alex, why don't you start us off?
Alright. So this week, before everything started coming out, I was still playing Persona Q. And then I played Spider-Man Miles Morales, and I went ahead and already beat my first run 100%. Though I don't have all the trophies because a lot of them are New Game Plus, or they're really stupid requirements. 100 hit combo and 25 wall.
A 100 hit combo?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh god.
Yeah. Spider-Man, the first one doesn't have any stupid ones like this, so I was kind of surprised to see all these really weird ones.
There's definitely somewhere to choose it, but it's a launch weekend, so no one knows.
Okay, well let me
do that yet.
Let me ask you this, Alex, without spoiling anything, because I'm about halfway through the original Spider-Man game.
Mhm.
Is it pretty much just like more of the same? Is there like some new stuff in it that's like drastically different from the first one?
There aren't as many like Peter has a lot more options among his items he can use.
Oh, item. Okay,
So
like,
you've got like
yeah,
Like his tools.
yeah.
he's got a lot more tools. Miles has
4.
different ones, which is pretty fun. And
But it's
Venom
4.
Strike.
Oh yeah, he
I
has
generally like the boss fights in Miles better than the ones in Spider-Man or the DLC for that. But I think the final boss fight in Spider-Man is better than the final boss fight in Miles Morales.
Okay.
Like
That is
in
good
general, I
information to
think
know.
most of the boss fights are better in Miles, but I do think the boss fight with Peter, final boss, is better.
I will most certainly keep that in mind when I play through Miles Morales. I'm zooming through Spider-Man right now.
Yeah, do the
so I can't
DLC
wait.
first because Miles does talk about both the main game and DLC of Spider-Man.
Oh,
Um,
And then I also played some Melody of Memory, but I've been fighting Cameron for that one.
currently only have the 1 copy because there's this amazing thing where I don't have a job. I mean, well, so I have YouTube, but
I
there's this
was able.
amazing thing where I don't make enough money for Google to send me my money every month.
I was able to just zoom through Miles. It's really short.
yeah.
Yeah, I've been recording Miles, and it's I realistically, Alex would know how close I am. Alex, well, you know where I am.
Yeah,
How
you're
close am I from there to the end? Like maybe 2 hours.
75% of the way, depending on if you. Well, that's if you're doing everything. I think maybe a little less. I will say this: I experienced so many more glitches in Miles than I did throughout my entire like 2 runs of Spider-Man.
Hmm.
Like I posted some of the glitches I had on Twitter
I'll have to look
because
at
they
those.
were bad.
Well,
One of them's just like nightmare fuel.
Yeah, that's great. I don't know what you're talking about. There's nothing wrong in that.
okay. So, Cooper.
hang on, Discord's lagging.
We can hear you
Oh,
still.
can you? Okay,
Yeah.
good. Okay, good. What have I been playing? The usual Faye, Among Us, and actually a new one, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Link.
Oh,
Woo!
I thought it was
And
gonna.
You never cease to amaze me.
yeah, I know, right? It's
Then
crazy.
it finally be something like I played Kirby or something, but no.
Well, I have been playing that. What do you call it? Let me get my Switch real quick. One sec. What do you call that one? I've been playing
The recent one that came out.
Super Kirby Clash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gross.
You paid $20.
No. This is the free one.
I see.
Where it's like boss battles. Yeah. It's pretty fun too. Oh, I guess Mario 35. I guess.
Hey,
That
you know,
one's
if
all-
you're playing it, it counts.
Yeah.
True.
Well, all right.
Cooper's
So,
not much younger than us, but he plays so much differently than what we play.
yeah,
true.
yeah. I try not to get too hung up on that anymore. It's like, why are you playing these games? This is what parent like now I understand why like when I was young, my parents were like, why do you do these things? And to me, it's like, what? I'm just doing the things I like. And now that I'm like, even though I'm only 22, it's like, why do you do these things? Like, oh, this is what it's like. I'm becoming a hypocrite. Okay.
I try not to be a hypocrite to Cooper, but like Cooper, you gotta branch out, man.
Oh, what was the last
Or at
spot?
least finish your golden tier run.
What was the last
man.
Splat Fest? I guess that also counts.
2
Okay.
weeks ago,
Yeah, which one was that? Halloween?
Splatoween.
Yeah,
Oh my
I did
goodness,
that
dude!
too.
2 weeks? Come on.
Don't get to count Splatoween. We already said we played Splatoween.
Oh, did we? Oh,
Yes.
I
hang on,
did.
I'm going through my game list.
Oh man, what a dumpster
My
fire!
last time played. Oh, Rocket League, because it came free. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a thing.
I have not played Rocket League long before it switched over to be free.
All right. Yeah, but that's about it. That's what I've been playing.
Well, all right. Well, hey, I mean, Rocket League kind of saved you there. That's a, that's like the most actual game you've played in the entirety of
I'll
the
say
show.
Among Us is a
Well, besides,
actual game, but like
well,
he
like,
plays it
there's
way
a
too
difference
much.
between actual game and Cooper only plays these 2 games.
Yeah,
So
let's put it that way.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, because like I wouldn't consider Rocket League a fad. Like Among Us is like big for sure, but it's a fad. A longer one than usual, but
That's for
it'll
sure.
be
It
interesting.
helps that it's $5.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what extends it. It's
That's
so
what killed.
cheap.
That's what killed Fall Guys because it's like what 20, 30?
It was
Well,
20,
Fall
and
Guys
it
is
got
still going, but
But it's not.
the way they went about dealing with the hackers
was pretty bad, and
trash.
the game cost too much.
Yeah. For a $20 game, you're dealing with your hackers by removing, quote unquote, removing them when they win too quickly and putting them in Hacker Island so that
What?
they're all facing other hackers. That is slow and bad, and people quit your game because they are tired of dealing with hackers. No one likes getting to the final round and then losing because you freaking screwed them by letting a hacker get all the way through.
Yeah, for real. What the heck? That's awful.
Anyways, all right, Karen.
Yeah, Cameron, lay it on me.
So let's see here. This has been an interesting week. I've actually played several games. So I did some Animal Crossing. I've actually slowed down on Animal Crossing a little bit because the Maple Leaf event started much later. So I did the mushroom. Like I got all the mushroom recipes, and tomorrow, the 16th, is supposed to start the Maple Leaf event. So I'm gonna get back on the grind, hopefully, cause I kind of have to, cause it's only 10 days, cause Nintendo hates me and my busy schedule. But otherwise, I have done. I actually got 2 games this week. I got Kingdom Hearts Melody Memory, and I got Spider-Man. And I mean, also the Game & Watch. But truthfully, I did enough to set up the clock, and I put it back in the box.
And put it on the shelf.
I put it on the shelf. It's been on Cooper's desk.
Yeah, for real. It's been on my tissue box.
No.
Cameron, I'll gladly take it. I need a watch. You know, like on the go. I don't really have a phone.
I
Well,
do not.
have a phone, but
I mean this in the nicest way.
phones are too much work. Phones are too much work.
I
I
mean
need
this-
to get a watch.
Wait. No. Pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. A phone is too much work. So what's the difference? You take your phone, you pull it out of your pocket, you click a button, and you look on the screen. What do you do with the Game & Watch?
Right.
You pull it out of your pocket, you click a button, and you look at the screen. What's the
Yes.
difference? And the phone, dude, the phone. Okay, well you can't work your phone anywhere because we had this issue where you just can't figure out the calendar on your phone. So I don't blame you.
Well,
But
no,
we
I
need
can work the
explicit
calendar.
buttons. You need
I'm
an
just
explicit
lazy.
time button on your device.
Dude, do you have a time app on your phone? Well, yes, you do.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Do you
Yeah,
have a time app? Yes, it's called a clock.
it's called the clock app. Yes.
But is it advertised? No, exactly. That's why
So
we give
you
them
need your okay. You need
Look,
your system
hold
to
on,
be
hold
advertised.
Cooper would have bought the
pause.
Fallout thing that gave you the
Game
pip
&
for your
Watch
arm
was
that you
not
can put your phone in.
advertised.
On the back of the box, it says time. Hurrah, hurrah, in Spanish. I don't know how to read that.
Bruh, no, you can't. You just said that it was
It
advertised.
was a bit on Twitter. It wasn't like on
That does
television.
not count.
Ow, my brain. Ow, my brain.
Bruh.
Come on, Grant. It's
Is
been a
this
long
your-
semester.
I
Sometimes you
want
just
the
need
Game
to
and
get
Watch
those
time, or is
wrinkles
this
out of your
my
brain.
corner time?
This is I want the Game and Watch time. Yeah.
Yeah, you just
So
want
I'm
the game. If
thinking
you just want the Game and Watch, just say you want the Game and Watch.
Thank you, Cameron. This is my Christmas present from
It is
him
not.
to me.
Sometimes you just need to get those wrinkles out of your brain. So talk to Cooper for like
Yeah.
Got you,
an hour.
Talk to Cooper.
This is
Yeah,
really
record an
cool.
episode of this podcast.
Yo, this box
Listen
is
to an
gold.
episode of this podcast.
Please listen.
Did
to
Cooper
it.
just say, "Yo, this box is gold"?
Yes.
Okay, dude, you're like Internet Explorer levels of slow.
That's crazy.
Yo, the Game
Yo,
and
it's
Watch box is
Famicom
gold.
colors.
Oh my god. Okay.
That's crazy. All right,
Okay.
move on,
Okay.
move on, move on.
No, we're not moving on. It is time. It is still my collector's corner. You interrupted
No
me.
one cares.
Dang.
This show has devolved.
It's only devolved because Cooper's here. Last week ran better, so I guess you're out,
Cooper.
Yeah,
Cooper.
Cooper had 2 weeks. He wasn't here last week, so he had 2 weeks worth of built-up stuff to dump in this chat. Okay, Cameron, continue, please.
Okay, so I have been playing Spider-Man. I've recorded maybe 6-ish hours, I think. Rough estimate. Again, did pretty well in the challenges. I got to fight one of the bosses. I got several hundred views because people need help with the stealth challenges, which I don't blame them for. Stealth challenges are hard, and
Well, it depends if you're going for
ultimate or not. Yes,
ultimate, yeah.
but I did because it was either get ultimate or get nothing. Because somehow I'm that bad. It's either I do the best job or I do so bad it gives me nothing, and I lose.
Well, get good.
I did.
Oh,
That's why I have 900 views on that one. Anyways, I also played Melody of Memory, and I spent let's 6 hours playing one level.
I saw your tweet about that when you finally beat it.
Yes.
sorry.
Thanks
It,
for the sneeze straight into the mic, bro. Amazing. Straight
Bless.
into the mic.
bless you, child.
Demon Child? I
Demon
agree with that.
Oh,
Child.
dude,
What in the world?
bless our listeners' ears.
I apologize.
You should just crank it up in the.
So, that level has 358 notes on it, and you need, and that gives you a max score. The thing is, you need the majority of the notes in order to get the achievement for that level, because it needs 8.35 mil to get the third achievement, which means you have to actually get good at the game. It's helped though. Spending all that time on one level apparently means I can do the other difficult levels, because I had to actually figure out how the game works, and now I get a bunch of the highest ratings on the notes.
This just in. Being good at games makes the game easy.
Easy. Yes.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah, this is big brain chat.
This is literally just like finding out that the Game & Watch is Famicom color.
All right. You done, Cameron?
I think so. I don't think. Well, okay, I did some Pikmin 3 as well. I got some of the challenges done.
Oh, I beat Cameron in Bingo Battle once. It was he had 1 Pikmin, I had 50. It was fair.
Yes. Cooper charging across the map, losing 20 of his Pikmin, and then stealing my macaroon for an insta win is fair.
Yep. I'm glad
Sounds
we
fair to
did.
me. I mean,
Thank
you've played
you.
all the Pikmin games and he's played none.
Exactly. I think it's pretty fair.
1 versus 50, but the one wins. 1,000 video idea, Cameron.
1,000 IQ.
1,000 view video idea. I can't believe you haven't done this.
Actually, though.
Well, all right then. Okay, so I would like to open with an apology to Target. I talked a lot of crap about you, but you came in and you delivered my PS5 on launch day. You lied to me, but you underpromised and overdelivered, and I am sorry for being such a judgmental, bad person, to say it nicely. I can't believe I'm doing a public apology to a gigantic corporation. Anyway, yeah, so I got a PS5 on launch day. I didn't get Spider-Man on launch day. I don't know how they screwed that one up. How I didn't get the game.
Spider-Man supposed to come on launch day?
Yeah, that was the one that was initially planned to come on launch
The
day.
PS5 was not.
Yeah, and then
Somehow they got reversed.
so but it only showed up at daylight, so no big deal. So it's a beautiful console. It's built really well. The presentation is fantastic. The build quality is fantastic.
And it's giant.
Yeah, it's very large. It is longer than the Xbox One VCR version. But it's not overtly heavy. And it's the disk drive is loud when it's spinning at full force, but the fan is not. Even when I got like for now, yeah, but like 4 hours into the I chose like the fidelity version so I could get like ray tracing and stuff like that, which looks amazing. And ran it for like several hours playing it, and it never really got loud. Like I could tell it picked up, but I could never hear it.
I'm saying it's gonna get loud when it gets all dusty.
Well, yeah, but I clean
the
my
last
things.
2 consoles have had that problem real bad.
Yeah. Well, if you're a normal person and you clean your console.
No, most people don't clean their consoles.
Yeah. But the real star of the show is the DualSense controller. Like, it was one thing when they told you about what it was gonna do, but it's a whole other thing to actually hold it in your hands and experience it. The adaptive triggers are incredibly impressive. It's just like a PS4 trigger, and you don't feel any mechanism in there, but there's real adaptive resistive feedback that will push back on your fingers, and it can change at like every little point of that trigger actuation, so it can make it feel like a explosion or like a bow pull or like you're gripping onto something. And it doesn't seem like it could really be that good because it's just a trigger, but I was thoroughly blown away.
If you make your way down here during Christmas break, you got to bring your PS5.
I will, because even if I don't see you, I will be playing it. That's the only thing I'm going to be doing for the next month. But yeah, it's you. I hope I can show it to you guys. It's so incredible. Astro's Playroom is by far the best tech demo game I've ever experienced. It makes 1-2 Switch look like a pile of hot garbage, which it kind of already is.
Okay,
Now, what about
that's not a high bar.
What about Nintendo Land?
I still think it's better than that.
Really?
Nintendo Land, I mean, that's a much of a higher bar because it's good quality. But
I hope Nintendo Land at like the top of tech demo.
The PS5 Astro's Playroom is really good. It's an amazing love letter to PlayStation's history. It's beautiful. It's a great platformer. It's simple, but it's amazing the way they show off the tech in it. The speaker, they actually use it. It's like what the Wii did when they tried to do some sound effects through it, but it sounded like trash because the tech just wasn't really that, like, they cheaped out on it.
They've got a couple games with
Do you remember that
sound
the
effects
Switch controller can do that?
PS4.
Say what, Cameron?
The Switch controller can do sounds because Kirby's done it.
Yeah.
Not like this.
Yeah,
like,
well, that's like
I mean,
vibration.
it's
I'm
obviously
talking
like a
like to like
different
actual audio, like through a speaker.
there's an because the PS4 has it, and I know Kingdom Hearts 3 used it. I think something else I've played also used it.
And the DualShock 4 too, the speaker isn't that great. But the DualSense speaker is amazing, especially for Astro's Playroom. It was like the music came to the TV and the sound effects came through the controller and it was loud enough to where it actually made an impact. I could hear it. The haptics are just as good, if not a tiny bit better than Pro Controller haptics, Switch Pro Controller haptics.
Is it the HD Rumble?
Yeah, it's HD Rumble is haptic. That's just their branding of it. PlayStation doesn't have a branding; they just say it's haptic feedback. It's pretty much the same. I think what makes it a little bit better is because of the other tech in it. Like the Switch Pro Controller doesn't have the other stuff. But if you took just haptics, it's pretty much the same. But yeah, Astro's Playroom is an amazing love letter to PlayStation and shows off the controller so well. I had so much fun playing it. I really can't express that enough. You just got to get your hands on a DualSense and experience it in that tech demo because the possibilities there are insane. The immersion was next level, and I'm glad I went with the remastered version of Spider-Man compared to the PS4 version because they added in some haptics and some resistive trigger stuff. So like in Spider-Man, when you're swinging around, the controller feels normal for like the first 80% of the actuation, and then when you get to the last little bit, it resists like you're gripping onto the web to swing.
Oh, that's cool.
And it feels so, it's just, the immersion is next level, man. It's so good. The haptics are amazing. Like, and the resolution is fantastic. I'm so impressed that they were able to fit a 4K ray tracing capable box for $500. That is incredible. And it's only 30 frames. You can get 60 frames if you don't do ray tracing, which is a fair trade. But I've been playing. I chose 30 frames with ray tracing, and there's no slowdown. It doesn't feel like 30 frames either. It's very smooth, very impressive. Again, just like the graphics are nuts. That doesn't mean as much as it used to, 20 years ago, but it really is incredible that they managed to do all of the stuff they're doing for $500. And I've loved every second of anything that I've played on my PlayStation so far. When I took it over to my friend's house last night and showed them to it, they were enamored and they would not put it down. I barely even got to play it. They would not
give me my console. I paid for it.
They were so
go buy your own.
Just blown away by the tech, and just like I was. It's and that's what really does it for me over the Xbox. Is even if you don't take the games into the account, the Xbox is just an Xbox One next gen. It's just a 4K 60 native Xbox with some new SSD tech like Quick Resume and stuff. But other than that, it's pretty much the same thing. The only thing you're getting faster times and better graphics on the Xbox. But the PlayStation, you're getting faster times. Maybe not quite as like Quick Resume. PlayStation has something similar. They don't brand it or anything, and it's not as fast as Quick Resume, but it's still pretty quick. So you're getting very good load times as well. You're getting pretty much the same level of graphics, maybe not as best again because the Xbox is more powerful. But the controller, you're getting a brand new controlling experience that has not impressed me. The only thing that's impressed me like this controller has been VR. When I first got a VR set and I was just totally sucked in. I just keep repeating myself. It feels like I'm on repeat, but holy crap, is it an amazing piece of tech.
And we'll have to see if games actually use that controller.
I know Black Ops Cold War has specific haptics for each gun. There's unique haptics and trigger feel for each gun in the game, which is super awesome. And again, both the Spider-Mans use it. There's nothing that Astro's Playroom goes like next level with it, so I haven't experienced anything like that in game yet. But again, it has only been out for 3 days as of this recording.
Yeah,
and most of your collection is PS4 games, right? Besides Spider-Man and
Well, yeah. I did also got Demon Souls in today, and I didn't get a chance to play it before we started recording. But I played through the intro sequence. It looks incredible, and I cannot wait. I'm going to be digging in that tonight, actually. It's just great. It's just so great. And plus, then you got the games, which Xbox doesn't have. You got the exclusives.
And the old exclusives.
Yeah, and the
Yeah,
old
that's true.
exclusives. But Xbox has that too, to a degree. And I think another big thing that does it for me is that Sony did not make their expansion proprietary. With
Yeah,
Xbox,
seriously.
you have to get the specific card from them to fit in there. And it's going to be
'Cause
more
they've
expensive
tried-
because it's proprietary and all that.
Sony's tried the proprietary before, and it failed them badly.
Yeah, and the fact that Sony just slapped an M.2 slot in there, which is it's future proofed. They they made it possible for 110 millimeter M.2 cards, which are pretty rare at current day. But in a couple years, when you think this tech gets cheaper, like all storage tech does,
Dude.
you'll be able to buy, a terabyte M.2 drive for like $50, $100, something like that, and you just slap it in there. You take the side panel off, undo one screw, and you're right there. And just because it's not proprietary means it's automatically going to be cheaper and easier to do, which I totally respect them for, because I would never have guessed Sony to do the thing like that. It was like when the Switch was first launched and they're like, wow, Nintendo's using USB-C, they're not using a proprietary connector. Like, who would have thought? It's the same thing again, like Sony, like, wow, they're not making a proprietary storage expansion.
It's because they learned hard from the Vita.
Yeah, it's
Vita is life.
And I also have to admit that I could be going through a bit of a cupcake phase right now, because again, it's only been 3 days.
Absolutely.
But that's fine, because you just spent $500 on it.
Yeah,
You're allowed that cupcake face.
but you were right about mentioning earlier. It really just depends on, like, 2 or 3 years from now, are they still going to be programming for this DualSense?
See, because think about this. The Switch at launch, basically every game Nintendo released had something with...
I'm sure
I mean,
all
of
Sony first
Nintendo
party. I'm
games
sure first
use
party.
it, yeah.
Sony
All the
stuff will
first
use
parties
the
will
stuff.
use it. So, like, Spider-Man 2 will have it.
Yeah, like, that's the thing. After a while, everyone... Like, unless Sony requires it for their games, which they probably won't, because
Unless it's
I
exclusive,
don't want to
they
do
won't.
that. Yeah,
Unless it's...
like...
Also, it's a way better step up than a DualShock 4. Even if you take away the haptics and you take away the triggers and you just treat it like a DualShock 4, it's a major upgrade. Sony finally realized, like, oh, hands are curved. They are not straight polygonal lines. And even
So
though
it's
the
a lot
DualShock,
more comfortable.
So even though the DualShock 4 was a huge leap forward from the PS3 in terms of you actually had something to grip on, now it's actually like fully curved and smooth, and it feels so great in the hands. And yeah, I mean, I love it.
Go playing like the PlayStation 1 or 2 controllers compared to like 3, 4.
I do. I'm looking at a PlayStation 1 controller right now that's next to my
Yeah, I'm
desk.
looking at
because-
It's so bad.
Yeah, it's
Like-
so bad.
3 and 4 definitely made leaps and bounds, so I could see how 5 definitely really pushed that.
Yeah. Only time will tell if they use the controller or not, but even if not, I'm excited because I know that if Sony continues doing what they've been doing with the entire PS4 generation pretty much, and making amazing exclusives, then it'll be worth it, because they're gonna look great. Eventually it's gonna be able to do 8K. That is not 4K 120 apparently in the future. That's when it's really gonna impress me, because like I'm already blown away by how both Microsoft and Sony were able to make a $500 gaming box that can do 4K 60 or 4K 30 ray tracing.
Yeah.
But if they can do 4K 120 or 8K in any regard, that is insane.
I kind of think 8K is the wrong way to push, though. I mean, yeah,
Well,
they should
no,
do it
'cause
eventually, but like,
doesn't Sony still sell TVs?
Yeah, they actually
They do.
so you can
But
buy.
the
This is
reason I
an
have
attempt to go to push their other markets, because as far as I'm
True.
aware, Sony's gaming division is the one that keeps them afloat.
but the difference between
Oh no, their
4K
TV market's
and
pretty good.
or
Is it?
4K to 8K and 1080 to 4K isn't as big.
Yeah, well, they kind of added it in for future proofing, because it's not even available
No,
yet.
it's a
It won't
good
be for several
idea,
years. But
Well, yeah, like think
Mhm.
about the Switch, and it has up to 2 terabytes of micro SD, and that's still not a thing. As
yeah,
far as
1 terabyte just became practically affordable for most people this year.
and
Yeah,
even still, it's still a little high for most people.
Yeah,
Well,
like
especially
these
this
com-
year.
the they are thinking with galaxy brains here, going, okay, this isn't cheap now, but what about in a couple years
Well,
when more
part of
casual
the reason
gets
is they've seen
catch up?
like how tech moves so fast, just like every year.
yeah,
Honestly, like look, Sony, yes, I can see how they would go. Let's future proof this. Seeing Nintendo future proof something that still isn't a thing with the 2 terabytes is honestly so impressive because Nintendo is typically seen as the backwards company, so
Mhm.
them thinking ahead is on anything is kind of impressive.
Look, people who think Nintendo's backwards are wrong. There's only one division they're backwards in, and it's online.
I wish they would learn.
yeah. Well,
I
before we
just
spiral off into
don't-
that rant again,
Yes.
we wow, we're already running so long. To wrap up, Spider-Man is amazing, and I'm so sad that I missed out on it for 2 years because holy crap, is it so good? You could just get to swing around. You get to be Spider-Man. That's literally it. You get to run around, beat the
Batman.
crap out of people. Why are there just crimes going on every couple hundred meters
Because
that I'm
it's
running
New
around?
York.
There's just people with like ballistic missile thingies and assault
They-
rifles
They
and
You-
stole them from the police.
You've left JJ on, right?
yes, and that's like
All
like
right.
literally he's Alex Jones in the Spider-Man universe.
He's
Good,
so
because I know
great.
some people who have turned him off, and I'm like, no,
No, he
he's
missed out on so
fun.
much.
It's all Spider-Man's fault. Yes, this
But
is
yeah,
what I want.
if I had to recommend PS5 all the way, no shame if you get an Xbox. I'm not hating because it's pretty cool too. The stuff that they're able to do out of that thing is super awesome. Especially if you don't have a PC, that would not be a bad buy.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
if you get an Xbox, don't put your vape by it. Why would you? do that?
Yeah, don't vape into your console.
I can't believe they had to actually make a statement about that.
It's because it looked like their console had like gotten destroyed on day one, so they're like, "Oh fuck, not
Yeah.
again."
Okay, well that wraps out my monologue. Moving on, tidbits. We gotta go. Stardew Valley was on the front page of a New York Times article that just got posted as of this recording, the 15th, about like the top relaxing games to play, and Stardew Valley screenshot was used for the screenshot cover of the article, and I wanted to mention that because we are big supporters of Stardew Valley here. And
Yes.
we are very
We
happy to
love-
see that because Stardew
We
Valley
love
is an amazing
Stardew
game.
Valley and Concerned Ape.
Yeah, Concerned Ape is a great
Love
developer
Stardew
who's
Valley.
still putting out content for this game. 1.5 is coming soon. And we are so happy for Stardew Valley's incredible success. And if you haven't played it already, please do yourself a favor and buy it. And
What have you
support
been
him.
doing for like 4 years?
Yeah, what
if
have you-
haven't played
You've been
this
playing
game?
anything else besides Stardew Valley since 2015? Or 2016, one of the two. But yeah, congratulations, Stardew Valley, from our measly little show here. Pokemon Cereal is coming back. There's a tweet with a photo of it at a Walmart, it looked like. And it looks basically like the Mario cereal, except you replace the crossy bits with circle bits, and you replace the Mario mushrooms with Pikachu head mushrooms, or marshmallows. And I mean that's about it's literally just cereal, right? There's nothing.
As far as I'm aware, it's not like the Mario cereal where it's an amiibo.
Could you imagine if they did that again?
Pokemon will not be the one that does
Yeah, it would be
amiibo.
Zelda.
Pokemon has been very amiibo avoidant.
Why?
Because they tried their own thing with Pokemon Rumble and it failed.
If I had to
Yeah.
guess,
It's
it's probably
stupid.
gonna taste similar to the Mario one, and just that it's like a rip
It's
off
okay.
of
Sugary cereal.
it's a rip off of Lucky Charms, but not in a bad way.
Mhm.
It's just kind of a different Lucky Charms.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's a good explanation.
It's okay, but it's
Yeah,
No.
like it's not like top 5 cereals or anything, but
I mean, they
it's
can't
fine.
make it. They could make it to top 5, I guess, but then they'd
But
have to
then they'd have
release
to-
it forever. If
Yeah,
you make
exactly.
just an okay cereal, then it doesn't matter.
So yeah, there's new cereal. I can't believe that's news on this chat, but that's what you come here for, right? A bunch of BS.
No, they come here to hear us rant.
So the Animal Crossing amiibo cards are apparently selling out faster than the original releases, which is to no surprise because nobody owned a Wii U. And why would you buy a bunch of
They
amiibo
weren't even
cards
for
for a
the
crappy
Wii U,
home
they were
designer
for
game and
3DS.
an even worse board game? On
Because-
yeah, well, Happy Home Designer. Well, yeah, okay, a bunch of people are going to buy the cards for that. But
There
yeah,
are
now
some
we
yeah,
have new,
okay, that's fair.
now we have New Horizons, huge game,
Yeah,
and
no one bought them for New Leaf with the Welcome Amiibo update.
yeah,
but
so now they're selling out
the
fast.
Amiibo cards that came out with the Welcome Amiibo update, and
Like, Cameron's over here laughing maniacally at all these.
no, okay,
poor
look, the Welcome Amiibo cards sold out about as fast as these cards have, because or well, maybe faster. Because those, when they released on the same day that the update went live, I wasn't able to get my 18 packs or no, not 18. There's
It was
50
50,
cards,
so 9
I only
packs.
needed
10.
I only needed 10 packs because I think it had dropped down to 5. But still, like these have sold out very fast, but I don't know if it's scalpers trying to keep the price high. Like Marshall was $90 the last time I looked. Please don't spend $90 on Marshall.
Do it.
I have
I will
Marshall on
give
my
it to
island
you.
that I never play on anymore. But yeah, not surprising, but good to hear nonetheless. We hope it's just because people are excited, not because of scalpers. But in the end, it's probably scalpers because scalpers do this with every new thing, and they ruin the rest of our time.
But yes.
Yeah. Marvel's
People excited.
Avengers has already lost a reported 96% of its initial player base. And that's what you get for treating them like crap and making a BS system for unlockables. That's what you get. Sucks. Sorry.
Imagine if Battlefront 2 had done that. Like had kept their initial system. That's what
no, nightmares.
That's what would have happened.
Yeah.
No,
Well-
theirs wasn't as bad as Battlefront 2's. It's just
Well,
they already weren't winning people over with their designs just being like based on the MCU, but not really.
Mhm.
MCU adjacent.
Yeah.
to quote Joker, you get what you effing deserve. So, haha. Nana nana boo boo, stick your head in doo doo, something like that. Don't treat your players like crap, and maybe that won't happen. Okay, Cooper, you have the floor. Fire Emblem Heroes time.
Okay, yeah. So, I thought the spinner trailer was going to be released tomorrow or Tuesday, but it came out tonight. We got a Binding Blade banner with Milady, Deke, Merlinus, I'm not sure how to pronounce this, but whatever, and Guinevere. They have pretty okay kits. Merlinus is the 4-star emote. We're going to get the final story chapter, Reality, and apparently Prince Alphonse is dead, so that's going to be
Right.
Y'all are so mean to Prince Alphonse.
He shouldn't have died. Next problem.
And we're gonna get 40 summons free. You'll get your free summon, and yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool.
Isn't it just the final story chapter of chapter 4 though?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's gonna be pretty cool. And also, I think we're gonna get 20 orbs from it, so that's also gonna be nice. Anyway,
All right.
Well, cool. All right,
Yeah.
so on to our final thing. We'll try not to take too terribly long here, but
we will.
on the day.
Oh, it is on the day that this comes
So
out.
on the day that this podcast releases, not too long after, like within a couple hours or so,
Yeah, this releases at 7 a.m. Central Time, and the
at
game.
11 for Game
Yeah.
Awards Central
Oh,
Time.
So they have a time listed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 9. They listed as 9 p.m.
9
Pacific
a.m.
time, or 9 a.m. Yeah.
9 a.m.
That.
Pacific, so 11 a.m. Central. So,
That's
yeah, Game Awards are going to announce their nominees for all the different things. So that's, what does that mean? It means it's Game of the Year prediction time, baby. It's time for the Game Awards. So we're going to go around and we're going to all talk about, we got a whole list of things for, so each of us has had a list of our top 5 predicted nominees for Game of the Year. An honorable mention, our predicted Game of the Year out of that set, and then also our Game of the Year personally that doesn't involve, or it can be this in that set, but it doesn't have to be. It's just whatever you think what your favorite Game of the Year was, versus the other things what you think the Game Awards are going to say are the top games of the year. So let's go backwards. Cameron, you go.
Okay, so let's see here. My 5 picks: Animal Crossing: New Horizons, obviously, Doom Eternal, Persona 5 Royal, Resident Evil 3, and Fall Guys, with an honorable mention of Genshin Impact. Genshin Impact mostly because usually there's some left field game that they talk about, so that I'm almost certain that's going to win some award. I don't know what it will be, but I'd be surprised if it's not at least nominated on Wednesday for something.
The
My
art's really good. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know much about that. My predicted game of the year is Resident Evil 3. I don't really have a reason. Just there's not a lot of games that released this year, so it's hard to say
That's
what.
bad. That's a bad opinion.
The-
Anyway, I'm not gonna get hung up on it. So what's your? Let me guess what your actual Game of the Year is.
Okay, you can guess what my actual game of
I
the year
can
is.
guess what that. Everybody can guess.
Everybody
what
can
it is.
guess what it is.
You can-
It's
you can
rhetorical.
guess.
You go
Look.
ahead. Go ahead.
Okay,
If
so
it's not what I think it is, then that's BS.
well, then it's BS because my personal game of the year is Persona 5 Royal.
Well, that's BS.
No way, dude.
It's supposed to be
Dude,
Animal
no,
Crossing.
dude.
It's
Fraud.
supposed to be
Fraud.
God.
This is fraudulent.
Fake.
I demand a recount.
Have your own vote. Cameron say Animal Crossing. We all know.
But Animal Crossing is not my game of the year.
Liar.
I refuse to believe that.
I really enjoy Persona 5 Royal.
Angry.
You can be angry.
I am angry.
Persona 5 Royal is the best game I played of the ones that would. Well, no, of all the games that I played this year. Like, Animal Crossing is good, it's fine. The problem is, in order to work with their outside content, they cut back on a lot of other content. They could have been giving us all new, like, and it honestly kind of sound like Reddit. They could have been giving us new content in place of the updating the old content. There has been some new content. Mayday, Museum Week, or technically it's Museum Day, but it's Museum Week because you get like a week or so to go around and collect 3
Damn.
markers. No, well, yeah, it is the stamp rally, but I can't remember what the plaques. You collect 3 plaques from the stamp rally. They had the wedding stuff, which it's fine. If you play most of the month by going to the island, you can get all the special items. But lately, since the wedding stuff, it's been diving, which New Leaf had at launch, Halloween, which every other game had at launch, and next it's going to be Thanksgiving Harvest Day
Alright,
with
I'm
Franklin.
gonna give an
and
opinion.
Toy Day
You
with
can't
Google.
be mad about them adding the events when they happen in real time because
No,
you're the one who like
I actually
beyond
do.
praise them because you're like it can't be spoiled till the
I actually
it
do
gets
like that.
added.
The thing is, it also means I can't get new content.
Well, they have
I don't get new
plans for 2 or
content
3
until next
years of
March.
content,
I
so
know.
we'll see.
I'm the one that told you that, but I don't get new content until March when they do the Mario Luigi stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, long story short, Cameron's mad. All right, Cooper, hit it.
You're all mad.
Okay, let's see. So, sorry. So my the five nominees are gonna be Animal Crossing, Doom Eternal, Miles Morales, Omagami King, and Hatsune Miku.
Did you
Project
just say
Diva.
Omagami?
Oh my
I
god.
can't say what.
Oh my god.
Anyways,
Oh my god.
and Hatsune Miku, Project Diva Mega Mix.
That
So-
didn't even come out this year.
No, that came out February 2020.
Oh,
Came out-
I see.
For the- Oh yeah, no, the Japanese one also really.
Yeah.
Well, Japanese dates don't matter for the Game Awards. I
My-
found that out.
That's true.
My honorable
RD.
mention is definitely gonna be wait. Is that one that's not that I've already said?
Yes.
Oh, then my honorable mention will be Fall Guys, I guess. Why not? My predicted is going to be Hatsune Miku Project Diva Mega Mix. And my personal
He just
is
wants to be wrong. Cooper thinks it's funny to be wrong.
And my personal is Hatsune Miku Project Diva Mega Mix. It's
What
gonna
if
win
Jeff
everything.
watches
It's
this
gonna
and
win
goes, "Yeah,
everything. It's gonna win everything.
I'm gonna give this man what he wants just
Yes,
for the
sir.
memes."
Oh
year-
my goodness. Okay,
We gotta
okay.
end off with a laugh. We gotta
We're
end
gonna
off.
walk right past that dumpster fire. Alex, please.
Look, to be fair, that is a game that released this year.
All right. My top 5 nominations, but my honorable mentions kind of go with those. Animal Crossing: New Horizons, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us 2, Persona 5 Royal. 2 honorable mentions are Resident Evil 3 and Spider-Man Miles Morales. I feel like these are the most likely games from this year that get put up on there.
Wait, would Spider-Man be allowed on that?
Yes, because it came out right before.
Oh,
I
dang.
can't-
You're pushing it, but technically yes.
I'm pretty sure that it will be. Because there was that game last year that came out like right before.
That's
Uh,
true. That's true.
My predicted winner, even though its fan reception isn't great, critics loved it, is Last of Us 2.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
that was actually going to be mine, but I didn't have it on my top 5, and I didn't want to put it on my top 5. So I do think you're right, and that's going to be the game that wins it, even though it's going to piss a lot of people off.
Oh, dude. It's gonna be
And my
awesome.
personal game of the year is obviously Persona 5 Royal. I've put a lot of time.
Where is Hatsune Miku?
I have no respect for Hatsune Miku.
Angry.
Ouch. Okay, so my predictions:
You-
Animal Crossing, Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima, Doom Eternal, and Hades.
Where's
Hades is a game that came out, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago, and it's only on PC and Switch right now. But it's gotten
Definitely been out
it's
longer.
gotten across the board 9 out of 10s or higher. Everybody
Dang.
that's played it has loved it. The Nintendo
Oh.
podcast that I listen to every week, they rave about it all the time. It's an
Um.
indie game, and it makes me think of the year that when Celeste made it to Game of the Year nominees. It didn't win, but it was an indie game that was there. So I was like, I want an indie game to be in it. So I would pick Hades because of how well it's done. It's been universally well received, like better than well received, amazingly received. And I haven't played it yet, but I it's just, I have so many things to play. It's hard to get to it, but I really
Okay.
want to. So that was my thinking there. My honorable mention is Persona 5 Royal. And I was afraid to put Spider-Man because of what I mentioned earlier. It's so close, but yeah, kind of. My predicted game of the year is Animal Crossing, and
It's absolutely fair.
my personal game of the year, as much as I kind of don't want it to be my game of the year because I don't know, like I like to ignore the truth, but my game of the year is Animal Crossing because even though I haven't played it in months, it sucked me in in a way that only a very small number of games have done to me before.
Stardew Valley.
Stardew Valley.
Stardew Valley on the
Harvest Moon.
Switch. Stardew Valley physically on the Switch.
Harvest Moon, Mario, Odyssey, Breath of the Wild. Like as much as I don't want it to be my game of the year because I haven't played it in months, it took not only me by storm, but it took the world by storm, dog. And the pandemic, pandemic or not, it still would have taken the entire world by storm. It did so incredibly well and impacted so much stuff. Like, it did so well that freaking Joe Biden made a campaign island on it, and you could go to it. That's nuts. A presidential candidate made an island on Animal Crossing New Horizons. That is nuts. And it's you gotta give it the credit. I also kind of want to put Spider-Man as my personal game of the year, but I again feel like that's kind of cheating because I've started playing it 3 days ago.
So you've got some
recency bias.
Yeah.
I don't think it'd be some. I think it'd be all the recency bias.
I mean, I'll mention it again later if my opinion changes, but for now, like, even then, it's a great game. And I'm sad that it didn't do better in 2018 Game Awards, but
so
I'd put that on there.
I don't think Animal Crossing is gonna win Game of the Year. Like, if it does, I won't be surprised. I just don't see it happening. It will be the one that wins the family friendly. Yeah, family friendly.
It's definitely winning family favorite.
I don't like, even if it's not in the competition for some reason in the Game of the Year spot, it's gonna be like the only game in the family friendly.
If I had to pick one that was not Animal Crossing that would win, it would most likely be Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh yeah.
I think that has a way stronger argument than Last of Us 2.
I just think the games that were critically well reviewed are gonna pull out and win.
Oh yeah.
Because that's why I was looking at the years in the past.
Last of Us Part 2. Because
I've never played it. I don't even like Last of Us that much.
I know. I'm saying, like, I'm not knocking it because I see your argument, but I just think Ghost of Tsushima probably did better than it, and well, like, more, I don't know. It was more popular for longer.
Yeah.
And
so,
yeah.
Just one thing. Do we know how Game Award counts early access game?
They have it under its own category.
Okay, because Hades.
I should have recorded what was last year's.
Hades went into early access in 2018.
Oh, then I don't.
It officially released this year.
Yeah.
So I
don't know if it will
know how that count. I think if they do count, if they count indie games as release a full, the 1.0 release and not
beta access,
the early access, then I think it stands a very strong chance to win indie game of the year.
I don't think anything from beta has like ever shown up like as.
What about Ark?
Later?
Didn't Ark show up?
Is Ark out of beta?
I think it's supposed to be out of beta because you have to have it out of beta to go on the consoles, as far as I'm aware.
Anyways, we will.
We will follow this up next week and see how right and or wrong we were, at least about our predictions.
I'll be right.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, you're right. The most wrong.
No,
Cooper, if it's on the Game of the Year list, I'll give you $5.
No, make it 500.
No.
What kind of deal bargaining is that? What kind of business is that? If you're right, I'll give you this. No, give me this.
No, give me 100 times.
Give me 100 times what you were going to give me. Oh, goodness. Okay, well, that is going to wrap it up here this week. I hope you got your hands on a new next-gen console and are enjoying it as much as I am, because it really is amazing. And the new tech is super exciting. And if you didn't get one, I'm sorry, you'll have to wait for it, but
maybe you got
there
your
will be
hands
more soon. Everyone will
game.
get one eventually.
Hopefully.
Everyone will get one eventually, and soon everybody will get to experience some new tech.
I think it will take most people to have the second or third wave, like the after this
it
wave.
won't be till
like
after the new year. For
Oh,
sure.
absolutely.
No,
It's gonna
like
be like
there's-
the
we
Wii.
just had this wave. I think the next wave's gonna sell out like crazy as well. And then the two after, I think people might finally start getting it. The next wave will still sell out to scalpers.
Definitely.
Yeah, but we wish you luck on your trials and tribulations to get a next gen console if you don't have one already. For me, PlayStation 5 is the way to go, but if you're an Xbox person, that all the power to you. You can't go wrong. Both of these things have some amazing new stuff in them, and they look amazing. And I'm so excited to finally be in the generation of 4K gaming. So, anyway, thank you so much for listening. Please share us with a friend. Leave us a comment on the YouTube video. YouTube.com/StormwindGames. You can find this podcast as well. You can listen to it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and an RSS feed. Thank you so much, and we hope you have a wonderful week.
Yeah.
Bye
Have a
bye.
good
Guys.
one.
See ya.